I don't know what to say. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out and I don't know what to say. The series has been with me ever since I was a little girl. Like, I was 11 or 12. And it's been an important part of my life. It's shaped me in a lot of ways. The way I tell stories, the things I like to see in stories, the things I expect from games, the things I like in games. So many things that are important to me come from the series. So if I was ever asked if I could have an objective view on that series, I could never say, yes, I have absolutely no biases. There's absolutely nothing in there that could be construed as me just looking through the nostalgia goggles. That will never be the case for me. So, pretty much everything that can be said on Kingdom Hearts 3 before it comes out has been said by other people. Better than I ever could say it. And pretty much everything that I could say, I don't want to say until I've actually seen where this goes. This is weird for me. Because as important as these games have been for me, I don't exactly feel hyped now that I'm about to play what has been called the final chapter in this saga, for now at least. More than anything else, I'm a little anxious because I don't know what will come from here on out. And because I'm anxious, I've decided that it's better to give the word for this to somebody who doesn't have my history with these games. Somebody who has been able to go in more clear-eyed and who's able to talk right now, just having fun about it, without having to be worried about having some sorts of preconception shattered or not being able to see the series in the same light as before anymore. And that's why I'm going to give the word over to one of my closest friends, somebody you've heard already talk time and time again on this channel, somebody I've huge respect for, who can probably put a lot of my own feelings, but mostly his feelings about what is going to happen now and what we've seen so far into words a lot better than I can right now. So I'm going to giving the word over to Triple. You all know him, you all love him. He's been on my channel time and time again. And he's going to give to you a little something about his experience with Kingdom Hearts over the previous year when he played pretty much all of the games in a straight line, one after another. And as he does that, I'm going to do a little something called a daruma. Now, for those who don't know what a daruma is, it's a Japanese tradition. You take a doll of an armless, eyeless Buddha and you put all your wishes, or one especially strong wish or prayer, written down inside of the doll. You seal it up and then you give it one eye. Then you wait. And as soon as your wishes have come true, you give the doll its second eye. So what I'm doing now as Triple talks to you about what he thinks, I'm going to write down all of my wishes for these characters and this world, these worlds that have been with me for so long. And I'm going to put them inside this little doll that I'm drawing. I'm going to open one of its eyes and seal up all my wishes inside. Then, when I finally get to play Kingdom Hearts 3, as soon as every single one of my wishes has been granted, I'm going to open up the second eye, finish the drawing, and then I'm going to talk to you about the series in my own terms. But for now, let's give the word over to my friend Triple.
Hello everyone and welcome to this video where I will talk about Kingdom Hearts for a while. At the time of recording, it's the day before Kingdom Hearts 3 is released worldwide, which is pretty exciting. So I thought I'd sit down and record some thoughts I've had about the series, and I'll talk a bit about what I played, what I remember, and just generally things I like about Kingdom Hearts. So let's get started. Okay, so my experience with Kingdom Hearts is pretty extensive. I've got the collections 1.5 plus 2.5 and then the 2.8. And right now I'm at the last game before Kingdom Hearts 3, which is Dream Drop Distance. I've not finished it yet. I am just a little bit into it at the Tron World, I believe. But it's been pretty fun so far. I do enjoy playing through it. But going back to Kingdom Hearts 1 for a while, I want to mention just in general what makes Kingdom Hearts a pretty fun experience. And I find that the atmosphere is very colorful, very bright, very easy to kind of get cozy and just having a good time, feeling pretty safe. It's a very cozy game in general. The whole series is, and it has that kind of Disney flavor to it, where you can't really be angry when playing. It feels like a good time because you always have some quirky characters to hang out with and just helping them out with whatever trouble they're having, and it's never too spooky, really. I know some people enjoy the plots of Kingdom Hearts because of the adventures of Sora, Riku, and Kairi, and all the others, but while I enjoyed the inclusion of that, it's not really my primary drive for playing Kingdom Hearts. I'm much more like just the whole vibe of it, the whole magical journey that you're going on, and especially the music of Yoko Shimomura, of course. Like that adds such a good ambience to everything, and I think definitely the music is a very important aspect of Kingdom Hearts, and it's got a whole orchestra arranged for it, so obviously people people do like Yoko Shimomura's music. But yeah, the whole journey of Riku and Sora, it's been a very intricate one, to say the least, right? And I feel like a lot of it has to do with their self-discovery, of course. Riku in particular has to go through the whole journey of finding who he really is, what he really stands for, and what he is about. But to really understand it, it's very complicated, and that kind of complexity of the whole plot through Kingdom Hearts. It takes a while to wrap your head around, and since I got the collection games for the PS4, I only played through most of the games last summer, and I've forgotten a lot already. But I don't think to enjoy it you have to understand everything, but it's more like, so long as you understand like the basic principles of Kingdom Hearts, you can still enjoy it, I think. Some people feel like you have to understand everything, and I really don't think that's the case, so long as you remember who the basic characters are, who does what, who goes where, and understand the basic concepts of light and darkness and the whole heart thing. Because I still don't understand all of it, let me tell you. But it's a series I feel where even if I don't follow every little tiny detail about it, I can still enjoy the ride because it's like I said before, it's very easy to mellow out and just have a good time with the game, and that's very important. Like just running around smacking some heartless with the keyblade, it's satisfying and it's fun and it's pretty easy, pretty easygoing with itself. So the stakes are never too high, even when it gets serious. You feel like it's still like fun to just take it easy with the game. And one of my favorite moments in Kingdom Hearts, I think somehow is those moments where you do kinda just run around and explore. I know that Birth by Sleep was one of my big favorite Kingdom Hearts games just because everything feels sort of familiar after a while, and you never really get lost. You kinda know where to go, where everything sort of is, because the worlds are a bit smaller in that game. And it feels very rewarding to just run around and kind of see what you find, because there are always a ton of treasure chests in every Kingdom Hearts game, so you always find something that you might have missed. And in that game, it also rewards you kind of mixing and matching with everything you find, because you have to do this. You have this command deck. And one of the best parts of that game, I feel, is just seeing what you can combine with those cards, and see what kind of new attacks you get, and what you can do with the certain fighting stances you have, because it's very personalized in that way that you can play it kind of how you want to play, and that's generally speaking that's what Kingdom Hearts is. You can just do whatever you want, really. Another thing I really liked was, surprisingly, I had a good time with Chain of Memories. Not the GBA one, but the PS2 remake that was on the collection. I found it surprisingly fun to stack up cards against other cards, and there is a level of strategy in that I didn't expect. It did get repetitive after a while, but overall, I think my memories of Chain of Memories is pretty positive, which I did not expect, because it feels like it's a bit of an infamous game for that mechanic. But yeah, combining cards together in a certain way to do special attacks, it's pretty fun, actually. And I do like that Kingdom Hearts kind of experiments every time to do something different. Even if it doesn't always work out, because sometimes it doesn't. But it always tries to make every game feel kind of distinct. And I think that's what people appreciate. They appreciate the kind of surprise in every little game, even from Disney Worlds to just how you play the game. And I feel like there are some surprises every time, because I don't think people expected a whole family of Sora clones by now. Another thing I didn't quite appreciate as much for being a surprise was the whole in Dreamed Up Distance, the whole flow motion mechanic. While it feels cool and satisfying to kind of jump around all over the place, that's a game I kind of did get lost in from time to time, because to accommodate the whole flow motion mechanic, they made every world felt really large and empty and cold, and the worlds weren't my favorites that time either, so it kind of felt like I was running around in an empty space of nothing but the occasional Heartless here and there, and you felt kind of lonely, and it wasn't as cozy that time. and and I would get lost running around, jumping around, not sure where to go. So I don't feel like Kingdom Hearts should be a game where you get lost if you're not careful, you know. Um, but even that is still fun to play in short bursts. Because I don't think there's a Kingdom Hearts game I didn't find fun to play at some level. Although I should mention that since I played the collection, I didn't play the Nintendo DS games. Those were just cutscenes, of course. But Kingdom Hearts 1 is fun. Kingdom Hearts 2 is fun. Birth by Sleep is fun. And I really look forward to Kingdom Hearts 3 because playing the demo with Aqua, or the prologue I should say, the graphics are so pretty, so gorgeous. And it's really a joy to just look at everything. And seeing the Disney movies practically represented in how they look in the movies is bizarre. Like, it's bizarre to feel like you're playing the actual Disney movies. And if nothing else, that will be fun to explore, just seeing how every Disney movie is just shown in the game and you get to play with those characters. Like, I feel like that's what a lot of kids would want. So if nothing else, yeah, that will be a great time. As for what I want of Kingdom Hearts 3, other than that, I just want it to really not be over ambitious in what it tries to do. Just make sure that the game itself is stable, is good. After this long time, I feel like it shouldn't try to do something it's not capable of doing. And so long as it just stays enjoyable, doesn't do too much, just trying to be a good, enjoyable game, I think it'll be really good. And it does look really good. So I feel like they had their goals in mind for this one. I hope so, at least. And most of all, I hope the fans in general get a good time with the game. Because I did not grow up with this series. I only played it after 2010 sometime. So my hope is that every long-time fan who grew up with this series get a good, satisfactory ending to the whole Xehanort saga. And I hope also that Kingdom Hearts stays in this kind of strange, almost this strange sort of place in the video game business where it keeps going without feeling stale, because I think so far it's managed to do just that. It doesn't feel stale quite yet, and I think that's good. Because Kingdom Hearts is kind of special to a lot of people. And at this point, I wonder if there have been like generation shifts in the amount of people who play it. So I hope Kingdom Hearts dares to do new things, but also doesn't go too ambitious with what it tries to do. Because to me, Kingdom Hearts is this series where it's kind of safe to go in and assume you'll have a good time, because on some level, you usually do, and I like that, and I hope it keeps being that. And I know Neni has high hopes for the game, of course, and I do too, but I think both her and me are trying to kind of go into it with an open mind and just enjoy what we get. I think that's the healthiest way to do that. Yeah, I think that will do it for me. So thank you very much for listening to this. I hope everyone has a good Kingdom Hearts 3 launch day. I hope all the fans will be happy in some level. And I hope Kingdom Hearts keeps going for a while longer. I do enjoy it. Okay, thanks everybody.